Hi guys, I got a box in the mail today. This is from Rachel Cooper's. Her business name is This Doesn't Succulent, and this is an order that I placed last week, I think. She was waiting to get more heat packs in and then get it out this Monday, and it just arrived and I am super excited and thought I would open it here. See what we got. I believe this is Crassula and some Cheridopsis, if I remember. Aw, look how pretty that is. That's the heat pack. And if anyone hasn't seen a heat pack before, I can go ahead and show you them. And this is still warm, so that's awesome. These just came from California, I believe. And this is what they look like. If you open them up, they're full of what looks kind of like coffee grounds. And so that's all it is. You just throw them away once they're warm. There's no, or once they're used, I mean. There's no, they're not reusable at all. Alrighty, I'm going to point this down a little bit here so that I don't make a huge mess and get most of it into this beautiful tray. This lovely little wooden tray. It's got a peacock feather. It's upside down, but carved right here. A friend bought this for me for my birthday a few years ago, and I just use it because I'm always doing messy things in bed. But it's pretty, and when it sits on my shelf, it looks nice, and then I can use it for whatever, and it's so practical, and I love it. Alrighty. Paper is what you want to see when unpacking succulents, okay? You do not want to see plastic. You do not want to see bubble wrap. This tells you, yay, the seller knows what they're doing, or at least has done some research on shipping. This is supposed to be a Buddhist temple. This actually doesn't look like a Buddhist temple to me. I wonder if it's a hybrid. It's really close, and it's really cool, and it's in good shape. The root's healthy. But they look slightly different to me. I'm trying to think of the Crassula that they're reminding me of. But I'm wondering if they're not Buddha's temple. The tops look like, oh, why is the variety escaping me? Yeah, it is. It's just escaping me. It could be because they're etiolated. That could be all that's wrong. They should be really, really, really compact. You know, this compact, if not more. But usually the top looks slightly different. But there are some hybrids. So it's possible. These are some Cheridopsis. They're kind of dirty, but they're great shape. They're looking a little bit etiolated here because of the light color. This should be really compact and dark, but they feel healthy. It looks like all of these guys may have just been a little bit light deprived. It is winter, and a lot of places are kind of light deprived, especially if the seller ordered these from somewhere else and they shipped, and then they turned around and shipped them to me. They may have just been in the mail for a while. Well, this is just something she threw in. Let's see, isn't that pretty? Graptivaria opalina. She did write it down on this invoice here. How nice. Just as an extra little surprise. More Cheridopsis. Feeling nice and firm. Again, looking a little bit, they're wanting some light there. But that's all right. I'll get them under our grow light. And another Crassula. Yeah, it may just be because they're etiolated, but this looks like a different variety than Buddha's Temple. Which they were a really good deal for Buddha's Temple, so I believe I'll have to go back and look. But if they're not, that's a little bit sad. And another little freebie, look at that, so beautiful. Alrighty, good deal. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of digging and try and remember the variety that's spacing me. I used to have it, and it looked very, very similar. It's a stacked Crassula, but it's not Buddha's Temple. And they looked a lot more like this, so I'm gonna do a little bit of digging on that and see what I find and let you guys know. Alrighty, I will talk to you guys soon. Happy growing. Alrighty, I decided to tack this onto the end really quick. So I got a comparison for you. First off, I am 100% positive this is not a Buddha's Temple. These, I potted these, all three of them, in this little 4-inch pot. And 100% positive it's not a Buddhist temple. It's the wrong formation. It's the wrong, look at the top of this guy. And look at the top of a Buddhist temple. There we go. And this is what they should look like, no matter what size, whatever. I brought my quadrangularis or pyramidalis or whatever you want to call it too. These are similar. All of the little offsets are very clean, and they have this little cross pattern in the middle. And all of the babies, no matter how tiny, have this really clean, compact look. And that's the way it is. Now these guys are etiolated some, so they've got some lighter color here. I'm not entirely sure if, I had another variety that looked similar to this that was, I don't know, it started with a P. I want to call it like Patagonia or something. But it was a kind of grayish color, more like this. And so I'm not sure if this guy was just light deprived and will turn that color, or if this is the real color he is. I'm guessing this is, at least the top tissue is a genuine color, but time will tell and we'll see. But I don't know what he is, so I need you guys' help to identify this. I sent a message to the seller and said, this is not Buddha's Temple, and sent her a photo of what these guys look like and what Buddha's Temple look like. And she said, well, the seller said they were. And I said, well, they're not. And of course she doesn't know me from, you know, Man on the Moon. So for all she knows, it could be a Buddhist temple and I could just be saying it's not. And so she said she'd never grown any of them, so she doesn't know. She said she was sorry I was unhappy with my order and told me that I could have $5 off of my next order, or 10%, whichever was more. And that she was getting some new plants in, but this is a 4-inch pot, as you can see, and this was $42 for these 3 little plants, which is fine. If it was 3 Buddhist temples with all of these offsets, that would have been fine, and I was totally fine, but I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want a different variety. I'm all for the stacked crassulas of all types, but the only reason I was splurging and doing this was because I wanted some more Buddha's temple. So that is a bummer. But what's even more of a bummer is I really, really like to have IDs on my plants, especially if I buy them on purpose and they're expensive. So if you guys know what this is, please, please comment below. I'm trying to get you some good views, but you can see all of these babies are etiolated, so maybe they'll get more compact as things grow. But the Buddhist temple are always very clean and crisp looking, and these guys are quite messy. You can see there's a lot of different heads coming off of here, which is very typical for a lot of the stacked varieties. It's very normal, but it's not normal for Buddhist temple. And just to say, this is what happens, you guys, when you buy plants off of, or what potentially happens when you buy plants off of Facebook groups where there's not, it's not a nursery, there's not really any recourse, which I'm not complaining. I've ordered so many plants. I've just learned that sometimes you get disappointed and sometimes you take a risk and it's not worth it. I would like to go back and find the photo, because if the photo had looked like this, I wouldn't have purchased them. It might have just been so much from the side and kind of far away. I think it was an entire flat, and so it was really hard to tell, and I just took her word that this is what it was, which again, I have no reason to believe she was intentionally lying whatsoever, none at all. I'm sure the seller did say that it was Buddha's temple. Either they're purposefully lying and selling a cheaper hybrid that isn't what it's supposed to be, because a lot of people won't know and will think it's a Buddhist temple anyways, or else it was mislabeled for them as well. But this is definitely a potential when you order off of Facebook groups, and you just don't have to order from the same people again, or you can try, and sometimes it's just kind of a hiccup. I've even had some fairly good nurseries where I got stock from them and was told by experts it was an aloe, and I was told for sure, no, that is not what it is labeled as, and the nursery just insisted and insisted that it was, and that's all they've ever grown, even though there's no way that they could have been selling it that cheap, etc., etc. And so even really good reputable sellers can have mistakes. It's always nice when they offer some kind of compensation or to make it right in some way, or a discount or something like that. That's always nice, but a lot of times it doesn't happen because these sellers are just individuals and the money's coming out of their pocket, so they don't, you know, they paid for these and they want to keep them sold. But anyways, yeah, that can happen when you're ordering online. And it's just one of the hazards of doing business with people that may or may not know what these plants look like in their true forms, and may not know if they're mislabeled or not. Generally speaking, from the photos, you can tell on Facebook if you're knowledgeable about the plant. This is the first really grossly mislabeled variety that I've got in quite a long time. Because usually I can tell. I've seen a lot of varieties mislabeled, but I just don't order them. But the photo, evidently what I saw looked enough like it was what it was supposed to be, that I felt good about it. And lost my train of thought there. But anyways, if you guys know what this is, pretty please let me know, because I would love to have a label on this guy. And also I would like to let the seller know. I told her that if I could find a for sure identity, I would let her know, so that she could let the grower that she purchased from know, because when these type things happen, you know, it spreads like wildflower, the mislabeling, and we don't want that to happen as much as possible. And you know, if 100 people get plants like this and they're sure it's Buddhist temple, you know, then they start selling plants, etc., etc., etc. So keeping things labeled accurately is really important for me. So if you know what this is, please let me know. And just one of those things, kind of a waste of $42, but oh well. it's a pretty plant, you know, as you can see, it's lovely. Nothing to sneeze at, just a very expensive little clump of some kind of Crassula, because I'm highly doubting that whatever variety this is as unique, rare, or generally expensive as Buddhist temple. Very rarely do you get a comparable or more expensive variety when things are mislabeled. It's almost always a hybrid that's much easier to grow and much cheaper. Which makes me suspect that it was purposeful somewhere along the line, you know, that someone sold seeds or stock to someone full well knowing that this wasn't Buddhist temple, but knowing that people, a lot of people wouldn't know and would order it and love it anyways. And then it gets spread to sellers. Yeah. Anywho, alrighty. That is it for this video. Let me know if you know what this is. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I will talk to you soon, and happy growing.